then we'll come back together as a group and discuss what you guys have talked about. So go ahead.
Put your head down. Put your head down.
Formative and summative.
Yep.
Which one it is?
Why do you?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I used to plan for instruction and monitor progress during the instruction process.
Here everyone's saying formative, what do you guys think that would be?
Yeah, I saw that soon.
Right.
Using it to plan for how she can teach in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it could be. She's just introducing the words and stuff. That's the only thing that needs her hand. It could be the big test of the end. Or it could be she's just introducing them. This is a little quiz.
Yeah, she's grading it.
I see, yeah, that's right.
I'll have you guys come back as a class now. And so, one, what did you guys decide about your scenario?
Said it was formative.
Why did you think that?
She was observing the students while she was doing it and using what she saw to plan out how to teach.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
And then group two, you guys had scenario two, what did you guys think?
We came up with summative most likely.
And reasoning behind that?
Well, it kind of depends on if this is like a test she's giving after like the students have already studied the words and been introduced to them. Or she could just be kind of taking like doing a test just to see where they're at, just kind of like introducing the lesson. But the fact that she's like actually grading it in her grade book kind of makes us think that it's probably summative.
Right, I think that's the biggest thing to notice is that she is recording the information that she found in her grade book for that one. And you guys were both correct. The first scenario is formative and the second one is summative. So what do you guys think would be some advantages and disadvantages of these performance assessments that we just talked about, or even other examples that you've seen teachers use? Yes?
I would say an advantage of formative would be that if a student is struggling, you can catch it while they're still learning, so you can somewhat change that behavior.
Right, and try to fix it, I think is one of the most
Yeah, that's a really good point, so they don't get stuck in like the way they're thinking, maybe the incorrect way. If you can fix it early, that would benefit each other.
Any other advantages? Well, I noticed one of the biggest disadvantages that I saw when I was reading through the chapter was that it can be very time-consuming for teachers to do performance assessments. And if they aren't done correctly, then they also won't be very valid, which is going to defeat the purpose of doing the assessment in the first place. So.
Okay, so some of the big ideas that we took out of this chapter were that performance assessments can have both formative and summative uses, like we've talked about in the activity. And it is important for teachers to follow proper guidelines when creating different performance assessments. Like Mallory just talked about, like if it's not valid or done correctly, then it kind of defeats the purpose. And then validity, a characteristic of high-quality assessment, may be carefully must be carefully considered when making decisions about what form of assessment to use. So like performance assessment might not be the best choice for all situations. You have to think about it as a teacher and decide what's best for your students and the lessons that you're teaching.
Great. Any questions? Comments? Yes.
Could you explain the Calvin and Hobbes
Can you guys read it? I don't know if you can on there. It says, Calvin, your test was an absolute disgrace. It's obvious you haven't read any of the material. And then she says, our first president was not Chef Boyardee, and you ought to be ashamed of yourself for turning in such preposterous answers. And he sits down and says, I just don't test well. So I thought that kind of fit pretty well with what we were talking about, because maybe some students don't test well, and well, in this situation, I do feel that it probably was because he didn't study. I mean, it can happen. Some students just do better with activities or experiments. So, yeah. Any other questions? Great. Thank you.